Hi, my name's Kevin and I am the Bad Back Gardener. It's July garden tour time. We're going to check out our gardens here, the raised beds and some of the other places around the property here to see what's been growing and what we've been harvesting and what's been blooming. So let's check it out. Okay, so we're going to start here at the parking lot. We got some hanging baskets. They're doing really good, pretty colorful here. And then we got Dracaena that I keep from year to year. They're, as always, seem to be doing real good. There. Nice, some blooms coming on the pot here. Although I have had, I think, some deer eating one plant. Apparently it's a delicacy, but it's been kind of eaten away, so hopefully I put some stuff up to try and keep that from happening. Here we are at the entrance to the raised bed garden. Tomatoes are going crazy. They're pretty tall here, and I've been harvesting a lot of tomatoes. Been doing some canning, some stuff here. And we'll start out here. This is the peas, and there's still some peas to be harvested here, although they're starting to die off. And it's just been a hot, dry summer here. And it's been hard. I've had to water more this year than I have in the past couple of years, and the peas are it's just getting too hot for the peas to make it. But here's next door. Here's the tomatoes, and these are the Triple L crop, which I've never grown before. So they're supposed to get a lot of tomatoes off them, so we'll see, but they're getting too tall for the support, so I'm a little worried that if they get tomatoes up tall, they're going to end up doing this. Bending over, I have nothing more to tie them to. They're just too tall for my supports. So they're bending down, which is not a good thing. Over here, if I can get through the vegetation here. I'm not catching my microphone. Over here, I had ripped out I had lettuce and radishes and spinach and everything planted in here. It's all been ripped out, and I've replanted it with some onions and some cilantro that is just coming up. Cilantro is just starting to come up, and the onions are coming up here. I had some bulbs I saved to plant late, so that's what I did here. So, and then down here, it's a hot day today, so the cucumbers look wilted, but they're just protecting themselves. That's their self-preservation from the sun. Less area space on the leaves, the less they bake in the sun, so that's why they look wilted. But I've been getting a lot of cucumbers. I've been giving them away. I just can't keep up with all the cucumbers that have been producing, so they've been doing really good, as you can see. I mean, that is a huge cucumber right there. That's about an 19-inch cucumber right there. And I got another one coming right beside it, which is huge, but it looks so small in comparison. But they've been doing really good. These are peppers, believe it or not, in this bed here, that have been taken over by some tomatoes that have just come up by themselves. And if you know me, I hate to rip out a tomato plant wherever it grows, but they have gone. The peppers are still growing in there too, so as you can see, there's some red pepper in there. This is hot peppers here. Down here, more tomatoes growing into the pathways here. This is the time of year where the garden can tend to get out of control. I try and keep it up the best I can for the pathways, but it gets too hard. These are sweet peppers here. Getting some sweet peppers coming on there. There's some blocky peppers in there too. We'll continue down this way here. There's some vines of some cantaloupe and watermelon going all over the place. I don't know that I have any melons or watermelons here. There's a female blossom right there, but I don't know that I've gotten any of those. Next door to that is my, again, gigantic tomato plants that are towering tall here in the raised beds. taller than I can support. So when they start loading up with tomatoes even more up top, that's when I'm gonna have trouble. But as you can see, I got a lot of green tomatoes yet to come on here. This is my last batch of cucumbers here in this bed I have covered. I'm just leaving them like the row cover draped over top of them. It seems to be fine. It seems to be working, kind of keeps them a little bit shaded, which seem to be doing good, and they're growing cucumbers too. I got too many cucumbers. This is another bed of tomatoes here with some ripe ones that need picked, and then down that way is another bed of tomatoes. Again, I've been harvesting and canning tomatoes. And down here we have cilantro that has gone to seed, and I can still harvest a little bit of it, but it needs whacked off, and hopefully maybe the bottom will start growing again. Got some lettuce I've been using, but it's starting to get to the point where it's not going to be any good. I got some basil growing. You can smell it if you just brush up against it. Some turnips on the other side of that. And I got my pole beans, which need picked. They're growing up. More pole beans, as you can see them hanging down off the side there. They should have been picked a few days ago, and I just kind of forgot all about them until I was down in the garden here. Some onions the green parts are about done, but the onions are still good. And up in that bed is some peppers. Those are my hot peppers. I've been harvesting them. Have not gotten any Carolina Reapers or anything yet, but they're blooming. And some more tomatoes. They've gotten a little bit of a disease going here, but they're still producing. So I get that every year as normal. There's a big tomato in there. It's ripening. My potatoes are looking pretty sad because we've had such a dry season here for the spring, or for the summer, that we normally don't have this time of year. We're getting into where it would be dry now, but we had a dry early summer this year. So like the middle part, I planted 3 different kinds of potatoes. That 1, 2, and then 3. The second one, they just died completely off without. The other ones there's potatoes in there. I did check. There are potatoes grown. So I could probably harvest the middle ones because they're pretty much done. The other ones are still a little bit of green there growing, but they're not doing that great here. We'll walk down to this place here. Actually got some cucumber from last year must have come up. I got cucumbers growing where I didn't plant them. Down here, and this sea of vines, we have pumpkins growing. Don't know that I have any big green pumpkins yet or anything, but I've seen a couple female blossoms in them. They've kind of taken over the sea of watermelon and cantaloupe and some specialty melons. And I can show you, there's some melons there. Look at the size of that one. Another one in there. There's melons all through there. Vines are getting out of control here. I don't know how I'm going to pick them. That's going to be the biggest problem. There's more. There's a mango melon in there. But it's a sea of, besides a few weeds that are mixed in, it's a sea of vines. So they're doing good. They're just getting out of control. So now we'll walk up this way. Weeds. And up in this last bed up there, we have more peppers growing. Another bed of peppers. Walk up here. And we'll check out some of the blooms in the other areas of gardens. Again, we got tomatoes coming up, but we do have peppers growing there. We got lots of peppers throughout there. Not completely ripened up yet or anything. They growing. Peppers. Now we'll head up to the front yard here real quick. Actually, we're going to stop at the patio area that's flowering back in here. And this is the front yard here. Garden got a lot of coneflowers coming out here. The ornamental grasses are nice and big here. A lot of coneflowers over there. So that's going to be it for this tour of the garden here in July. Things are blooming, doing pretty good, getting a good harvest from the garden. So thanks for watching. Catch up with me on Facebook. You can also email me at bbgardner@zoominternet.net. And as always, if your back ain't hurting, you ain't working.